how you've evolved from, 6 years old to getting into the business, right? To now taking your own route, and having your own say on how you would like to integrate yourself into the business.
Yeah. So, there were always things that we did as we were younger, right? Whether that was cold calling, whether that was talking to people at events and festivals, that just kind of like built up the skill set of being able to talk to people, right? I feel like that's one of the simplest skill sets that most people don't have, right? So that was one of the main things that was like the foundational aspect that built everything else around it. Because if I know how to talk to somebody, then I know how to extract information from somebody. I know how to ask questions. I know how to seek certain answers that I'm looking for. And as you're obviously in business, right? One of the things that one of our mentors always said is you need to get in the room. And then when you get in the room, you need to maximize being in the room, right? But if you're not able to talk to somebody, right? If you're not able to know how to have a conversation and carry on a conversation, right? Then you're limiting yourself on a lot of development that could then happen from just being able to open your mouth. So at a young age, she instilled being able to confidently talk to someone. And from there, that just kind of like built on top of it. Like I said, just being able to be in certain rooms, learn certain information, being able to, have that skill set of, for one, just knowing how to talk to somebody, knowing how to read somebody's body language and their demeanor, and being able to shift the conversation or change a particular thought or mindset was very key as far as just being able to build my business developmental self moving forward. Because then from there, I feel like half the battle is starting, right? Half the battle is talking to somebody. Half the battle is asking that question, right? Because most people are usually uncomfortable in doing so, but having that skill set very early kind of mitigated a lot of that. Because now, if I have a question, I'm going to ask it, right? If there's something that pops up in my head that I want to know, I'm going to go find the information out. But it also kind of created that go-getter mentality to where now it's like, I'm not about to wait for somebody to give me the information or wait for somebody to tell me to do something. I'm going to go do it myself, simply because I'm the type of person who wants it done. And if I want it done, I'm the one who has to get it done, right? So it just continuously doing that built the mindset of like unconsciously building the mindset of the entrepreneur, because it's like entrepreneurs are those type of people, right? The people who are not afraid to open their mouth and ask a question, find out information, go get the work done. So that was just kind of how it built from there.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a very valid point. And that's why they say, not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur, right?
Correct.
And that's because most people are the type of people that have to wait for information to be given to them, especially at a job. People like, well, I didn't know that because nobody told me that. Well, nobody knew you needed the information, and especially in corporate America, it could be a blessing and a curse, but it's the expectation, like, getting to the job, you get all the information you need. But once you get that job, everybody expects that you know what you need to do, so everybody's worried about their own thing. They're not trying to sit there next to you, say, hey, did you know this? Did you know that? Like, you have to have that hunger to want to go get knowledge for yourself. And so that's a very good point that you brought up, Alex. And then what about you, Marcus? When did or how did you find your way and integrate yourself into the family business?
That's a good question. I don't know where to start on that answer. When did I get into it? I would say I got into it right after we started trading. And I used to fall asleep trading. And so like I would literally watch one of my mentors who's a trader, and I would go to sleep, and then I just became passionate. Mind you, this is after she kicked us out of the house. Well, not kicked us out of the house. Well, she's kicked me out of the house multiple times, but I'm referring to when she said either you learn this skill set or get kicked out.
She made that determination.
Right? And so I was learning it, but I became very passionate, right? So I became very passionate in the trading space. And so from there, people just wanted to learn from me on how to trade. And then it was more on the Forex side, but then they were like, well, I also want to learn crypto. And I got put on a platform where I was able to pretty much teach thousands of people how to trade. And I invited, what if you hopped on and did the crypto side of things, since people are asking about it? It just kind of led the family business and kind of just pushed it forward. But honestly, we've always been in business. It never was not a business in the household. Like we grew up, I would sell we had a successful lawn mowing business actually when we were younger, right? Like there was always business. There was never, like our mindset was never go get a job. Like none of us in the household likes or cares about a job, but we changed the point of view of the job. We changed it to, okay, Alex views it as a side hustle. He views it as a part-time. You get what I'm saying? Like I view it as a partnership, right? So it's more of just how we viewed the way that a job worked in our favor. And then we just kind of tied that to like, okay, well, this is what the family business is going to be about. We need to solely focus on this family business and everything else comes second. That's kind of like how we kind of viewed it.
Yeah, I like that mindset shift, especially with how we view a job, because I would say similar to you, I also view a job as a partnership. So many of us look at jobs as like something we have to do just to get money,
Yeah,
right? And it's much more than just an ATM, because when you look at it as an ATM, now you're not really reaping the benefits of what it can bring, or you're not being intentional on what skills you can sow from that opportunity, and which is why I look at it as a partnership. But also talking about mindset shifts,